Yet to have a Ron Paul victory. We thought it might come in Maine, close but not a victory. We thought it might come in Washington State, it didn't come there. Will today end with Ron Paul in the win column, and if so, where?
Today, we're looking at 3 states in particular. We're looking at Alaska, we're looking at Idaho, and we're looking at North Dakota. And we expect to do real well, but it remains to be seen exactly what will happen tonight.
You're third in the delegate chase coming into today. Governor Romney is starting to pull open to a big lead. Many people might ask tomorrow morning, Congressman, if you have maybe one victory, but you're still well back in the delegate race, they will ask, what is it you want?
Well, we want a lot more delegates, and we haven't even counted the delegates for the delegate process that has been started in the last couple of months, won't finish for another 2 months. So we don't know exactly what we'll do. So we got to count the delegates before we make any decisions.
You're a veteran of this process. If Governor Romney were to win 5 or 6 of the 10 states tonight, does that make him inevitable? Does it make him likely? What would it make him?
No, it makes him the front runner, but I think he'd still have a long way to go. Nobody's going to clinch the election today. And, you know, you get Gingrich winning some states, you get Santorum winning some states, you get Ron Paul winning some states, and sorting all this delegate selection process. I think we have a little bit of time left before you declare anybody a winner.
One of the big conversations in the country right now and in the campaign is what to do about Iran and its nuclear program. The Prime Minister of Israel was in town to meet with the President of the United States. Your 3 rivals for the Republican nomination, Senator Santorum, Speaker Gingrich, Governor Romney, all spoke to AIPAC in Washington today. I want you to listen to their tough talk when it comes to Iran.
I'll make sure Iran knows of the very real peril that awaits it if it becomes nuclear.
In the Gingrich administration, we would not keep talking while the Iranians keep building.
If they do not tear down those facilities, we will tear down them ourselves.
Congressman Paul, you disagree with them on Iran. The Democratic president, President Obama, today said he's worried about the casualness with which Republican candidates talk about a possible military conflict with Iran. Is President Obama right?
He certainly is closer to my position than the other candidates, because what the other Republicans are saying is very reckless. I mean, to talk about, you know, already now, you know, McCain is advocating in the Senate, why don't we start dropping bombs on Syria? And then they're so anxious to go to war. And it reminds me so much of our efforts before we went into Iraq to try to alert the people, look, let's pay attention to what's going on, let's find the facts. But, you know, Iraq was not a threat. They didn't have weapons of mass destruction. There was no al-Qaeda. I think the same thing is going on here. There is no evidence whatsoever that the Iranians have or are on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon, according to our own military people, our own CIA, according to the UN. So I think it's blown way out of proportion. It's very reckless and very dangerous. And the last thing this country needs, and our military agrees, is another war. Because ultimately, though, yes, we can beat anybody, you know, militarily. But the military operation around the world is bankrupting this country. So the greatest threat to us is a financial crisis, and this will enhance the chances of this financial crisis. Just look at what's happening to gasoline and oil prices right now. And that's going to get much worse. Once the bombs start dropping on Iran, whether it's Israel or United States, believe me, this world is going to be in a much chaotic shape. So they're worrying about something that they need not have such a worry about. I don't want them to have a weapon, but I also lived through the 1960s being in the military, being in the Air Force. The Soviets, a ruthless, terrible nation, we dealt with them. They had 30,000 nuclear weapons. So I think the war drums are beating much louder than they need to be. We need to defend our country, but we don't need to be the aggressor nation.
Congressman Ron Paul, appreciate your time on this Super Tuesday. We'll count the votes tonight, and we'll check in with you soon on the campaign trail, sir. You just heard there from Ron Paul and his Republican rivals talking tough on Iran. Ahead, we'll hear President Obama hit back and hit back hard. And CNN tonight doing something new to help us understand the impact of today's important Super Tuesday voting. We'll take